Welcome to Conspiracy. I'm Taylor,
And I'm Sammy.
and we're here to unpack and analyze the world's best conspiracy theories. So buckle up and let's jump in. So we are finally on summer vacation.
Finally.
Feels good.
And technically, I still would have had to go to school today, but I took a personal day.
Yeah, it's been a long time getting here, but I'm glad that we're finally here. I made a mistake on, I think, last week or the week prior's podcast where I'm like, oh, we're going to be flying to Disney. I was a week off. So this podcast will be dropping as we're flying home from Disney.
Is this the fly home or is this the fly to?
This is the fly home because your podcast is dropping not tomorrow, but the next day. And then this will be next week when we're coming home.
Nice.
Kind of works out that way.
I'm just happy it's summer.
I'm really happy it's summer too.
I've needed a break.
It
was a long last month of school.
That last month, the kids got rancid.
Bro, it just went on forever.
There was nothing I could do to tame my fourth graders. There was nothing.
The kids just didn't care in that last month.
They gave
like,
up.
I could put on a damn show in front of my classroom and they would not give a shit.
Yeah.
It was exhausting.
I finally got to the point where I was bribing my kids with prizes every day that if you could just
get through the day.
Yeah, behave. Just be a decent human being, you will get a prize. And I can tell you that 95% of my students couldn't get it, which is sad.
That's really sad.
The talking nonstop and like the drama. When I was in fourth grade, I know there was drama, but to the extent that I have now,
I know. I mean, fourth grade was a long time ago, but like I just don't feel like it was what it is today.
Kids are just so mean.
Well, and they're so grown up now, but social
Yes.
media has not helped with this. And
No.
I'm sorry, giving your fourth grader a phone is not a wise choice.
Yeah, it's just, yeah.
They're like, well, they're in sports. They have to be able to communicate with me. I'm like, and we grew up as fourth graders without phones. How do you
Mhm.
think we survived? Guess what? We did it.
No, these parents, and then they hand the phones over, and I'm sorry, what fourth grade child? Because in fourth grade, you're normally 9 turning 10. If you're an older fourth grader, you're 10, maybe turning 11, depending on how your parents enrolled you. What 8 or 9 to 11-year-old needs social media?
Yeah.
I did not get a Facebook profile until I think 8th grade. I think it was 8th grade going into high school.
I don't think I got a Facebook profile then because I purchased myself my own iPod Touch.
Yeah.
In 8th grade. And mind you, by that point, like smartphones were pretty popular. So
Yeah.
we were late to the game, but our parents were like, no, you're not getting them because it makes people brats.
Yeah, I think I got my first iPod that, again, I had to buy. I think I was 6th grade. I think
Yeah,
that
I
was
did not get mine that soon. I
think-
think I got mine in 8th grade, and that's when I got my like Facebook account because once you get
Oh.
that, it's like you kind of need that. If you want to play a game, it's like link
Yeah.
it to this. So you
Link
kind of
it.
have to make a Facebook account.
Yeah.
That was the only reason I made one. And mind you, I was an 8th grader and I went to mom and I'm like, can I please make a Facebook account? Is that okay? And like, you think of what kids are doing now. It's like they're making Tinders and they're in 4th grade. And like, this is just so sad.
Yeah, no.
What has society come to?
Were you ever part of the MySpace group?
No, I never.
I was.
That was before my time.
Oh, Sammy, you missed out MySpace. I loved where like you have like your Facebook wall. You'd have like a MySpace wall, and when you go on there, you could do like your top 10 music list, and you could pick your top 10 favorite songs, and like people could come onto your profile and like, ooh, Taylor's number 1 song is Taylor Swift Love Story, and they could play it and listen to it.
Oh, wow.
I loved it. And then this was like the worst. I mean, you want to talk about drama for like my age group? The drama was who did you pick to be on your top 9 best friends because they were displayed on your profile.
And you had to pick them?
Yeah. So like I'd go on and be like, oh, Barbara Jean is my number 1 and Susie's number 2. And like everyone would come onto your profile and be like, oh my God, Taylor's number 1 best friend is Barbara Jean. Can you believe that?
Oh, wow.
And that could start drama. But that
I don't
also
even have 9 best friends.
Well, at that time, it was like you were just friends with anyone you went to school with, just to be like, I have 200 some friends. I didn't,
But
but
it would be like, I have 2,000 some friends. I remember some people bragging about their MySpaces. I'm like, God, this is just so. It was the beginning of petty.
it was the beginning of petty. But that was also you could figure out like who had a crush on who, because Jimmy would be number 1 friend on Susie's page. You're like, ooh, Jimmy and Susie, what's going on there? So I was the Facebook group, but
Looking back on it though, MySpace is sketch.
now, because
It's like the dark web, man.
yeah, like, and I believe I like a couple years back I could still log on to my MySpace. It was still
Is MySpace
active.
even a thing anymore?
It is, but it's kind of dead.
Okay.
Like,
I
people
mean, that's
don't
kind of
use
what I
it.
figured. People have transitioned to Facebook.
Yeah, it was something. I think it's really changed, and essentially, I think it's just like another Facebook. But I'm like, you took all the cool features away. I
Oh.
like my top 10 music and my best friends that I got to pick. But
It just seems a little wrong.
it It was definitely that's how the drama happened with us. But then again,
It's like the Bachelorette, but who's the highest?
I
I
think
choose you, you, and you.
I was like 6th or 7th grade when I got that, and I didn't tell mom.
Of course you didn't, because you did things behind her back all the time. You were
I
the
did
epitome of a
not.
bad 4th grader. You were your student.
Okay, first of all, I didn't do it in 4th grade. It was 6th or 7th grade.
And then you were probably talking to randos on the internet. I
No,
guarantee you probably messaged a few people.
the only people I talked to at that point, because I was really scared that mom would find out, I think I literally friended the 3 people that I made it with. And I'm not going to drop last names, but I was at Christine's house having a sleepover, and she was, well, I have a MySpace,
I
so
feel
like,
like Lauren would have been there.
no, it was me, Christine, Olivia, and Vanessa. I'm
Mm.
not going to drop last names, but we were all having a sleepover, and they're like, well, we all have them. I'm like, well, I don't want to be left out of this. So made a MySpace. I thought it was cool. That's how the drama, mind you, did I ever take part in the drama? No, but I loved to watch it because then people would just like yell at each other on their MySpace walls going, how dare you move me from number 1 to number 2 slot? And they're, oh, the fighting.
Wow.
But yeah, so 4th graders shouldn't have social media. That's kind of the last message I wanted to give there. Anything else you want to throw in?
No, I feel like we covered all our bases there. We really got the whole realm.
And mind you, that whole thing doesn't have anything to do with this week's topic. So,
Okay.
this week's conspiracy is one that ties very well to a conspiracy I think we are going to do in the future.
Illuminati.
It does tie to that, but it's not the Illuminati.
Illuminati's just so large.
It is so. I want to do the Illuminati, but I feel like that's
It's gonna
going to
be a
like,
multi-parter, and it's
it's
gonna
gonna
be
be
both
so
of us
many.
working on it.
because it's so much. But I feel like this could tie to it.
Okay.
Like it could be a part. Today we are going to be exploring the Denver International Airport.
Yeah, man, that's the hub for Illuminati.
So
The basement.
surprisingly,
Did you see the recent TikTok where he's like, I think I found the back rooms?
Can you just stop talking?
Is it the back rooms?
No, I don't even have that in here. I
Oh,
did see
okay.
that TikTok, but I didn't feel it was valid enough evidence to use.
Okay.
But
Well, literally, it's the only thing I've seen about that.
good, because hopefully it's a podcast that you finally know nothing about so you can stop interrupting.
I'm still gonna interrupt.
I would say this episode is definitely heavy on background information. I do have 4 theories, but a lot of the information on those theories will kind of be presented and we'll just
In
kind
the
of
background.
we'll re-talk about it.
Okay.
But yes, the Denver International Airport. It's home to many conspiracies. If you literally just type in Denver International Airport, you are going to get website upon website with articles about the conspiracies
And mind you,
around it.
I've been there. I didn't think there was anything spectacular about it.
Mind you, when we went there, it was after a backpacking trip. So it was literally like go in, find food, go to sleep. Like
We slept on the floor in there, people.
Yeah. Well, we had blow up pads.
I know. I did blow up my
Air pad.
little air pad.
Yeah. Good thing we went backpacking because we had those. I think if we would have known what we know now, we might have walked around, maybe witnessed more or looked for these things
Mm-hmm.
because like they're not trying to hide shit.
Okay.
It's all out there for you to see. And I have a PowerPoint presentation I'll have you pull up and I'm going to share these photos as well.
We're just talking about the Denver International Airport.
That's it.
And like the shit that's happening in it.
Yep.
Okay.
And the conspiracies behind it. Because there's a lot of different ways this could go.
I was gonna say, because there's like the whole conspiracy that like, oh, it's a part of the Illuminati,
Yeah.
and this is like the hub where they all meet.
Yes, and I could buy it. I would say out of all 4 theories, I think there's only one that I'm like, but the other 3 I'm like, it could be any of them.
Okay.
It really kind of falls nicely. All very believable. So, before we get into the actual theories, we're going to talk about the background, and like I said, it's kind of extensive and there's a lot of pieces to it. I'll start by telling you that in February of 1995, the airport was completed being built. I will tell you that it was 16 months late being built. They had like 1993 was supposed to be done, so it was almost 2 years later. So they did not follow the timeline that they were supposed to.
Most of them don't,
Yeah.
especially when it's a building of that size. I mean, I think there's like 4 different hubs that you can take that tram to.
I know there's 3 different like terminals, like up and down, and there's like a top level and there's a lot going on.
Well, I do remember after we slept in the airport, literally just on the floor on our pads.
Yeah.
I then went on TikTok and found out that there's like a whole ass sleeping area.
I know. But I think at that point we were so tired
And
that
I
we were
wanted to be
just
near my
gate.
My gate. The
Yeah.
last thing I want to do is have to like move a whole terminal just to find my gate.
Yeah, and I will say the number one thing in that airport that I loved was frickin' Shake Shack. because after being stuck in the goddamn mountains for 4 days, mind you, it was voluntary. I chose to go up there, but after 4 days of eating food out of a dehydrated bag,
Oh my god.
that juicy bacon cheeseburger and a shake.
Never again will I do that
Oh
green
my
curry.
god!
Or that beef stew or whatever the hell it was. Oh my
Ugh.
god, it was a bag full of.
I still remember Jeff whipping out a bag and he goes, "Oh, we have green curry for dinner." And I'm like, "I'm full."
I still remember, and he's like, "Yeah, there's a bag for everybody." I'm like, "Oh my god, it says serves 2 to 3 on the side, and you think I'm gonna eat that whole bag of nastiness?" It was
Oh
so
my
gross.
God.
I think I maybe ate like 4 spoonfuls. I think I lost like 5 pounds on that trip.
We got back. We both lost a decent amount of weight, but like,
And then we went glamping this last year, and I was fully banking on like losing some poundage. I was like, "All right,
No, but we
I'm gonna
ate
lose some weight."
so well.
I gained weight. I'm like, I would have thought the hiking that I was doing would at least counteract what I'm
Yeah.
eating, but it definitely did not.
But you have to remember, on the glamping trip, we came back and had steak dinners.
Oh yeah, I know.
When we were up in the mountains, they're like, "Would you like some dehydrated food that we just rehydrated with water?"
You want some pita? Which I
No.
love some pita.
Oh,
It's literally like if you're in the
staple.
mountains, you have to eat pita.
If you're on any backpacking, hiking, camping trip, pita bread has to be
You
there.
need it, but it's got to be fresh made pita.
Yes. Plug in REI there. Amazing, amazing
Oh my
company.
god, I love those.
We're going on another trip with them in what, 25 days?
July.
Yeah. I know I already said this, but I'm going to regroup here. It was built and ended up being 16 months later than expected, and it also went $2 billion over budget.
Again, not uncommon.
At the time that this happened, it was uncommon. So nowadays, they
You said
kind of
2 billion or 2 million?
billion
Fuck, that's
with
a lot.
a B.
That's a lot.
Back then, now we just expect everything to go way over budget.
Mid 1900s. I mean, that's a lot of money.
It was 1995.
Yeah.
So late 1900s.
Oh, I'm sorry, I meant mid 1990s.
Oh, yeah.
Is what I meant.
So they ended up spending $4.8 billion total.
That seems like a lot.
It was a huge amount of money. This airport is twice the size of Manhattan, the city. So not just like a little part of like the whole city, it's twice the size. That's how
Okay.
big this place is. I would also like to add that Denver during this time had a fully functioning airport with no complaints, nothing wrong with it.
Was it near this size?
It wasn't this size, but the thing was at this
Was
time,
it like the Oshkosh airport where
No,
it's literally like
it was an international airport. It was just not as big as the one they have.
technically Oshkosh's airport is an international
Well,
airport.
you know what I mean. It was a fully functioning, they had no issues. And then when people were questioning in Denver, they're like, "Why?" Like and they just kept going, "It's not big enough." And then they were like, "We have to like be moving with the times because we're not there's
It's like,
so
wouldn't
much
you just
travel."
modify what you already have?
Because there was nothing wrong with it.
Did they modify what they already
No.
had, or they built this somewhere totally different?
Completely new.
Okay.
Bought this huge plot of land at this time. It was like kind of skirts of Denver. Denver really developed more around it. But people were like, "Why are you doing this? We have a fully functioning airport." And they're like, "Well, we need to get with the times. There's so much travel." And then people were like looking up the stats and the numbers and they're like, "But
There's not much.
travel's low. We're taking a loss here." And then for them to build it so big, go so over budget, and be like years late.
And mind you, looking at it, like there was nothing that was extravagant about it.
No.
Like, really, like if I had to pick an airport, I would do Minneapolis over that any day.
Oh yeah, 100%. Out of all the airports I've been in, I like that
Minneapolis
one.
is by far my favorite.
That one was good. I didn't mind the Las Vegas one.
I think Atlanta's not bad.
But yeah, I'm just not a fan of Denver. Like I wasn't like, "Ooh, let's no." It just
Well,
didn't
and
do it for
one,
me.
they didn't have a Chili's. If you don't have a Chili's, you're not selling me.
That's a Midwest thing. I didn't know that because
Bro, I need a Chili's at an airport. If there's
Yeah.
not a Chili's at an airport, I literally want to die.
I was listening to the Two Hot Takes podcast because the main host from there is from Minnesota and she now lives out in California and she goes, "I miss a Chili's." So then I Googled, it's not
Bro, y'all can get dirt cheap food at Chili's, and it is so good.
It's so good. What is it? The 3 for me?
Yeah, I get like a soup, a drink,
You really
and
struggled
a meal
for 10.
for $10.
Yeah, it's amazing.
And
But
mind you, that soup is filling. Like I take my meal to go
it ends up being like 2 to 3 meals
Yeah,
if you bank it right.
easily,
And then if you have like the rewards card, you get free chips and salsa.
which I fill up on chips and salsa and my appetizer, and
That's
then I
amazing.
eat like half my sandwich, and I'm like, all right, I'm stuffed.
Aunt Nancy's gonna listen to this week and be like, "Chili's,
Baby back ribs.
But yes, so I not an airport I was like amused
Impressed with,
It
yeah.
just
It
it
was an
didn't do it for
airport.
me. I felt like it was almost too big.
It was too damn detached. It was like everything you needed was like a terminal away.
Yeah,
And then you'd
and
have to take
then-
that long tram
and
ride.
it was so hot. My God,
yeah,
I was like,
I don't think they had AC.
it was. I just remember getting in. And I'm like, I'm fucking dying. Like this is horrible.
Because did we do that with Rocky Mountains?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I keep thinking Denver was last year, but it was the year
Same.
before.
Same. I thought the same
I
thing.
really had to get into the mindset of when we did this. Another thing I'm going to throw in here is that the Denver airport is the biggest airport in the entire U.S.
Okay.
It is
I think I did know that.
It is the second biggest in the world. However,
Does Singapore beat it?
I don't remember the one that beat it.
Have you seen Singapore's airport? I want to go there, man.
You just want to go to Singapore just to go to the airport.
We don't even need to leave the airport. I'll just hang out there.
Okay. But something I found a little interesting is while we're the biggest one in the US and second biggest in the entire world, we're not even close to being in the top 5 for busiest airports. So they have this gigantuan airport and it fell in the top 10. It was number 6 on the list. But when you look at the
Have they broke even?
I don't know. I kind of doubt it,
I mean,
but I
4
don't
point
know.
some billion is a lot to make up.
And mind you, when you look at it, what was it? 1995 it opened. So it's almost been, 30 years? Next year will be 30 years of it open.
But you don't realize
how much revenue.
How much $1 billion is.
And how long it takes to make that.
It takes forever to make $1 million, let alone $1 billion.
They're never done with construction. When we were there was still construction. Like, they're always doing more.
Well, it's like the second they finish, I feel like they got to go start on the next part.
Yeah, so I feel like they're still shuttling money out and losing money, and I'm like, it's a little weird. So now we're going to look at some of the other things that are a little off about this airport. We're going to start kind of from the outside of the airport and work our way inside.
Okay.
Because there are a lot of weird things happening, not only on the inside, but on the outside too. And it was hard to kind of decide where do I start with this podcast and how I present the information.
Okay.
Upon arrival at the airport, before you even step out of your car, you are going to be met with this beautiful, and that is sarcasm, giant blue horse. And if you could open your iPad so you can see these images, do not go past the first image. I want you to be with me on this and I'll tell you when to click.
It's got a creepy eye.
So you're met with this giant blue horse.
Oh, he's got a jacked back ass cheek.
Would you please?
You see that thing?
Let me just get through my spiel and we will talk all about this horse for days. So, his nickname that he goes by is Blucifer. Could this be a play on the name Lucifer?
Oh, that makes sense why his eyes are red.
The actual name of this sculpture, like I said, the public, I don't know if it's the public or the airport itself, nicknamed it Blucifer, but the actual name is just Blue Mustang. This was not an addition to the airport until 2008 by the artist of Luis Jimenez, if I'm saying that correct. And something that's a little off about this situation is that this Mustang, this Blucifer, killed the creator. When assembling this lovely horse, the part of it fell off and ended up severing an artery in this man, and he is now dead.
Probably felt obligated to then display this nasty looking thing because it killed him.
It's so ugly. And mind you, you kind of look at it. How big would you think this is? What would be your guess?
I'd say it's like 8 feet tall.
Blucifer stands at 32 feet tall.
Oh my god! You can probably see this from the moon!
He is 9,000 pounds, and his color is a bright blue standing out for all to see. And the most eerie part about Blucifer is the illuminating red eye that pierces through the dark night. If you could go to slide number 2, you'll see...
that is wild. I cannot believe he's 30-some feet tall.
If you look at slide number 2, his
is
eye...
his junk illuminated?
No, it's gold, so it shines in the light. And he has creepy veins.
Why we felt to paint his penis gold, I don't understand. I mean, they are his jewels, but...
And the eye does glow. Because initially I was like, no way. No, the eyes glow red.
I think you can see his heart, too.
You can. His heart, his tail is gold. His mane is gold. Parts of his mouth.
Mind you, we got picked up in the middle of the night, so, I guess I really don't remember.
No, because this one,
like
we weren't...
Yeah, we were. It was the middle of the night.
But going back, when we went back, I don't ever remember seeing this statue.
I mean, but it's probably on one side of the airport. It's not like he constructed 4 of these so we can see him on every side.
Very big, creepy statue. Some believe that Blucifer represents one of the 4 horsemen that will lead us into the apocalypse. For those of you who don't know, in the book of Revelations from the New Testament, in the Bible, there is a story called 4 Horsemen of the Apocalypse. So this is kind of a play on that, is what many assume. There's also a famous painting that goes with this story depicting the 4 horsemen. There's a black horse, a white horse, a brown horse, and a blue horse. And I will tell you that the blue horse represents death in this story.
It did kill the painter.
But
sculptor.
In this story, like, leading into the apocalypse, there's like 4 horrible things, and the blue one represents death. A lot of people thought it was kind of odd that we put this giant ass blue horse, and why not a normal color?
You know what? Maybe he was gonna make all 4 of them, but this one killed him.
And maybe he's gonna put them at all 4 terminals.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh my! I didn't even think about that.
And this one killed him, so he couldn't make the others.
And that's why he has Blucifer, like Lucifer the devil. And this one just killed him, so that's why they nicknamed him. Oh my god, you are so
And
smart.
there's 4 terminals. There's 4 horses.
Sometimes I'm like totally jealous of how smart you are. I didn't even think about
It's
that.
literally a guess, but thank
But
you. I will
still.
take credit for what you think I'm amazing.
When you think about it, and if you go to the next slide, I have a white one to skip so you didn't see it right away. The next one. That is
the horsies.
That's the painting of the story from the Bible.
Yeah, the death one looks scary.
Yeah. And that is, so those are the 4 horses, and people think it's very odd that it wasn't like another normal horse color. Like, why did we go blue? And we thought it was very weird that we have this giant ass blue horse in front of the airport.
But it doesn't even really look that blue in this painting.
It doesn't.
It looks almost like an off-white.
Kind of. But when you look at other pictures, it is depicted as more bluish color.
Okay.
So many think that this horse maybe represents death, not only for killing the person that created it, but just in general from the story from the Bible. They think that that might have a tie to it. So that is Blucifer. That kind of is, you're greeted right at the beginning. You get this very unique bright blue horse with golden jewels and illuminating red eyes. Kind of creepy in my opinion.
Like I said, I didn't remember that thing.
I don't either, but
it might not have been on the side we exited or entered from, so.
At that point I was on a high from getting plastic tampons. Not a bad high. I know we're in Denver. People are going to think I'm smoking. I don't smoke. I was on a good high because I was in the mountains on my period and had no plastic applicator tampons. So,
yeah, and those cardboard ones, they scratch.
oh, I was so excited when we pulled into Civilization and I got to go to whatever it was like an Aldi. It was like a small town grocery store.
It was very similar to an Aldi.
And I pulled in.
It wasn't an Aldi, but it looked just like it.
I got like a box of 32 Super Plus plastic applicators for like $5. Their tampons out there were so cheap, but I digress.
Yeah.
I was so excited. So I was on a high from that. I wasn't even paying attention to see Blucifer. Anyways, as we move on to the next creepy piece of background information, we now have a time capsule, which is what you're going to be looking at, and we're going to look at a couple different pieces of this. This capsule is located at the south entrance of the airport. At the top of the stone plaque, it reads Denver International Airport. And I'll post this on Instagram so you guys can all see this as well. And there's really nothing weird about that part. But as you move down on the stone plaque, some people begin to get a little weirded out about some of the wording that they have on here. We can see the date is March 19th of 1994. There's nothing weird about that. However, there is a line at the very bottom that leaves a lot of people curious. At the bottom, it reads New World Airport. The thing that people are creeped out about with New World is when you hear New World, a lot of people associate it with New World Order, which is a Nazi affiliation. So a lot of people are like, New World Airport? What are we trying to say here? Like, what's going on? Further up on the plaque, there's a message that says, this time capsule beneath the stone contains messages and memorabilia to the people of Colorado in 2094. Some fear that the messages that are in the capsule will essentially be the New World Order taking over, going, we're taking over the world now. We've given you guys time. Granted, it's kind of a far-fetched idea, but a lot of people think that the things that are contained.
I think I can live till 2094. I'm really looking forward to see what's in this.
I would hope. I want to live to that.
I'll be 94.
I'll be 97.
Yeah, I'll be 94, 95.
Well, then again, if it's something bad, I don't want to know. I don't want to be around for that. But if it's a good, cool thing.
I'll just die at that point.
Yeah, at that point.
I'll make it to that point, see what's in it, and then I'll be like, all right, peace out, world.
But a lot of people seem to think that maybe there's some Nazi affiliation and that the New World Order might take over in that year if it hasn't already.
Well, and that little middle symbol with the G.
Sorry, I'm not on it. I was reading my notes.
It's like, could you rearrange?
Stop talking. Sorry. Now that's the last piece of evidence I want to talk about on this stone plaque is when you look in the very center, there is a symbol. And a lot of people go, oh, it's just like the symbol of the people who maybe built the stone. But a lot of people think that there might be affiliation with the Illuminati. Because in the very center of this, there's a G, and some people associate it like, is it the pyramid with the eye in the center? Are they trying to maybe
See,
play it off.
I was thinking you could rearrange it and make the Nazi symbol.
Oh, I mean, you could do it that way too. The other piece of evidence that I had, though, had Illuminati, and yours could very well be right.
Because you're saying the pyramid, so like that thing pointing up, and then
Yes.
there's the circle with the hole in the
Yeah.
middle. That could be the eye.
So they're
I could
assuming
see it.
that the letter G would like be the eye in the center of the pyramid, and that if you put the one that's like
I
a
thought
V
the eye was
shape,
at the top of the pyramid.
it's kind of like in the center
Oh.
top. But yeah, so a lot of people think, okay, are they trying to like make it more discreet but still have be part of the Illuminati? You never know. Like you said, maybe you could make a swastika out of that. Kind of creepy.
Yeah.
Make it more Nazi affiliated. A lot of people just think that there's a lot of maybe subliminal messaging in there that only certain people would maybe be able to pick out. Anything else you want to comment on with the Denver?
You wonder if there's like fidget spinners in there or something.
Well, this
Is
was
it just words and there's not like little mementos in
well,
there?
mind you, fidget spinners last 5-10 years.
Yeah, I know.
This was put in 1994.
Well, maybe there's like something that was alive in 1994 in there.
Yeah, I don't know. That they
It makes it sound like it's just like
it
messages.
it says messages and memorabilia. So
It's probably lame.
I'm hoping that's what it is, and I'm hoping it's nothing bad. But no one knows what actually officially got put in there. Sometimes
Do they know like who presented stuff to put it in?
I want to say the governor he gave like a huge speech when this got put in, but I don't think it was open to the public to know like what they were putting in. And I don't know who the messages are from. I don't know what memorabilia they decided to keep. Sometimes when not countries, when communities, cities, when they come together, sometimes they allow input on what's going in. I don't know if that was the case for this time capsule.
Okay.
As we move on, we're now going to move on to baggage claim. So we've now made it inside the airport.
I was at baggage claim when I was there.
Yeah, we did have to go to baggage claim. We
had
had
to
our
go pick up my
backpacks.
big ass backpack.
Okay, so now that we're at baggage claim, we get to meet this lovely talking gargoyle. And you can click down, you're going to get a white slide, then you're going to see this gargoyle.
Oh, that thing's scary.
Creepy as hell, right?
It's like the monkeys see no evil, speak no evil, hear no evil.
I will tell you that his entire face moves. The mouth moves and the eyes blink and move and the head shifts around because it can talk. In just itself, looking at it, it's kind of creepy to look at. But if we can set that aside, the talking piece is kind of creepy. But
what does it say?
Let's get to that. You just love to jump ahead of me. I will say that there are some he has like a sense of humor. He'll joke around and be like, you're too close to me.
Is it like, because obviously AI probably wasn't a thing. Is it like AI based that it can actively and smartly respond, or it's got a set of responses?
I believe it has a very set, it might have changed since then.
Yeah.
But a lot of the responses I have been able to find on YouTube and TikTok, Facebook, any social media, a lot of them are the same. However, you have some that joke around where he's like, oh, you're too close to me, please back up. Or he'll joke about how my phone's been on airplane mode for 5,000 years. Can I use yours? So he has set responses. But then there's one that kind of just makes me feel a little off. And I don't know if they're trying to just kind of play on things here, but there's a saying that he says, welcome to the Illuminati headquarters. Oops, I mean Denver. Why would that be one of the sayings?
Well, and like you said, you wonder if they're trying to make fun.
Like,
are they everybody trying to make thinks fun? That this is the place, or are they trying to throw us off their scent?
And that's the thing. A lot of people go, is like Denver International trying to do like reverse psychology? Are you trying to?
I could see them just making fun of it.
I could too, but as we move forward through a lot of this background,
that comes up a lot.
There's almost too much of them kind of playing fun on this that I'm like, what are you hiding?
Yeah.
You're playing too much with this. Well, like you said,
we spent all this money on it.
Mm-hmm.
We made it ginormous.
Mm-hmm.
To be able to house all of these people.
It's just a little off. And there's a lot of things that are off.
Are there any like chunks of terminals that don't have any like areas where like a plane could pick you up, where it's like dead space, where like we could have a meeting of sorts? I know they say like the basement is where everything is, but I've never seen
terminal. Everything upstairs appears quite normal to us. It's when we go below. And we're going to talk about that as we move forward.
Have they ever opened up below? Have we ever seen it? Okay.
No, we have not. So, talking gargoyle, like I said, just kind of, why would you throw that in there? Are you playing fun on like the public thinks the Illuminati's here, so ha ha ha, it's a joke? Yeah. Or are you trying to reverse psychology the situation and be like, we're going to play a joke because you guys are onto the scent?
Yeah.
I don't know. A lot of people kind of relate this to like, we have this big blue horse with glowing red eyes, and now we have this very sinister looking gargoyle. Like, does this have to do with Satan?
Is it stone?
It is. Oh, well, it looks like stone. I would assume it's something else because the head moves and the
Because
eyes
my thing's
blink.
like, if its mouth moves and its eyes blink and it speaks, I
Yeah.
feel like it would have to be not stone.
Maybe the body part is stone because that doesn't move, but I
Okay.
don't know about the head.
Okay.
We're now going to get into some artwork. This again is going to be something I have to post on Instagram because, Sammy, I could not describe these paintings to you even if I tried. I don't even think abstract is the word I would use, and you're about to see why I say that.
Okay.
And I just want you to try to explain what you see.
All right. It looks.
How do you even begin to explain this?
All right. So we're setting the scene in kind of like a
For anyone
prehistoric Wizard of Oz type setting.
For anyone listening, this is going to be I'll make a post. I will put these in order of which we explain them to you.
Yeah, so I would say like a prehistoric Wizard of Oz. It looks like the background scene is a on fire forest, but the fire seems to be taking shape of like a damn phoenix of some sort. There are people that look very sad. They seem to be some form of indigenous tribe looking type people.
Why is there a penguin in a glass box?
And a whale. There's a humpback
There's like
off to the side, just like
whale and
hanging out. It's not full size. It's definitely small. There's a human that's bigger than it.
But why is
And then down
he
in
in the
bottom,
shadow?
it looks like there is like a creepy looking Jesus, but slightly mummy looking type man holding, looks like a peacock or something.
Because the way I see it, that guy at the bottom, I see him in a coffin. Do you see that?
I mean, I guess I could see that because then there's the two people dead on the sides too,
in
and
coffins.
looking like coffins, and then all these people could be sad about it, and now they're offering animals and stuff up. It looks like that cheetah's dead too.
I think the cheetah's dead, and maybe that's an offering.
And I think that turtle's dead.
It's weird. Okay, so that's picture number 1. Next picture.
Where is this?
When you go through certain terminals, we didn't walk through all the terminals. We missed this. There's a whole terminal with all this artwork.
Thank God we missed it.
So if you go to the next slide, try to explain that one for me. You don't even know where to begin.
I don't get it at all.
So there's like all these
Judaism, there's
it's
American, Britain, there's all kinds of flags wrapped around, looks like a bunch of knives.
It
like a dead soldier or something below.
And mind you, when you look at the soldier laying dead or whatever,
it looks demonic.
It looks like a Nazi soldier.
Like
they wore those gas masks.
It looks like gaping holes in a big gross mouth, but I guess you could see a gas mask.
Maybe that. I see more gas mask related, but like I kind of see like all the people of the world maybe.
I see all the people of the world and then they're like presenting.
And they're like all inside a rainbow circle.
Like they're fighting together, but then it says peace on the flag.
And then I think, are they on a boat? When you look up to the far right, is that a bow of a boat?
Yeah, and it says war, violence, hate.
Yeah, so kind of weird. Next picture.
They all have the same...
They were clearly all done by the same artist.
Yeah, they all have the same vibe.
They're very busy. They're very overwhelming.
There's like a lot of subliminal messaging happening.
That's the thing. Like, what the hell is going on in these photos?
The angle of this one's kind of tough.
When you look at the next one after that, you have that like soldier again. And now it doesn't look like a gas mask. Now it looks like gaping holes. But like he has a sword stabbing a dove, holding an AK, and then there's like a child laying under him, and there's a crying mother to the far left.
Yeah, dog.
I don't know what's going on.
Is there more?
There's one more, and it's not a picture, but a lot of people think this last sculpture points to the Flat Earth Society.
Okay.
And I know there's like rumors that Illuminati buy into Flat Earth.
That wouldn't surprise me.
That's a whole nother conspiracy for another day. But a lot of people think that this last piece of art, I mean, there's more art. I could have had hundreds of slides on art alone.
Were they all by that same artist, or were there other themed stuff?
There was other themed stuff, but all the other themes were creepy as hell like this.
Okay.
Very, very bizarre.
Very, like, almost demonic.
Exactly how other people describe it is very demonic. A lot of people go, what are you trying to tell us with this art? What is the main message here? Isn't it kind of upsetting?
Very creepy.
It's not pleasant to look at. I feel like every painting kind of depicts a very sad story.
Now I don't feel safe sleeping in the Denver airport.
I know. And mind you, literally I got done with all this research, and then this one girl was like, she was going to be going there, and this person was like, whatever you do, don't stay the night there. Like, you don't want to be in the Denver airport through the night. because apparently bad shit happens at night. And I'm like, bruh, I slept the whole night there.
Girl, same.
Like, I don't know what's going on, but I missed it
And
apparently.
we were like in an area where there was not many people.
No. And mind you, we were next to a construction area.
Yeah.
Because that was a whole construction wall.
Yeah, like all the shit was kind of closed off.
We just slept next to it, like, no big deal. We could have fucking died. So that's kind of the artwork piece. And now the next one kind of ties very nicely to the artwork. We're going to talk about the advertisements that they have in the Denver airport because they're creepy as fuck.
Really?
So we're going to talk about these again and again. I'm going to make a whole separate post on Instagram for these so you can see all these different ones. So I'm going to have you go to the next slide. And again, it's kind of a play on everyone thinks these things are happening. So Denver's just like, haha, they're happening. We have a lizard person doing construction. And it says,
like reptilian people's huge for
Illuminati.
Yeah.
And so it goes, apologies for the noise. It takes really big drills to get to the underworld, meaning the devil.
And if you notice on his jackhammer, there's an eye.
There's an eye, as in Illuminati. And he's a lizard person. And we're trying to get to the underworld. And if you know anything about the Illuminati, you know that most times they are praising satanic things. It is not a good group of people. You don't want to be a part of this. Most times it's satanic worship. There's bad things happening.
But yeah, the eye, the reptilian people, all of which are kind of linked.
Yep. So I'm going to have you go to the next slide.
And mind you, we were sleeping right next to an area where like shit probably was posted like this, but we didn't even think anything of it.
Because at this time, I feel like the conspiracy wasn't big or we just hadn't heard about it.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have you go to the next slide. And if I can get there. So again, this one's not as bad. It's cool new areas
Still weird
to hang around, or Area 52. So we know of Area 51. Denver Airport, the rumor is it's Area 52 and the government's keeping everything there.
In the basement?
Mm-hmm. Shit, I didn't include that theory on this. Remind me when we get there. We have theory number 5. I totally did all the research but didn't type it. So the rumor is that Area 51 is our decoy area.
To kind of draw suspicion away.
Yeah, this is theory number 5 that we won't if we don't get to it later. But theory number 5 is that the Denver airport, the basement, is where the government actually keeps everything. And that if someone invaded Area 51, nothing's there. It's a decoy.
Okay.
So that was another theory in itself. But then again,
it surprises me though that we would spend all this money to guard that if nothing's really there.
I
even though it's a decoy.
I think we're really just trying to convince our country and other countries that, oh, we actually are hiding stuff here, but really we're not. So again, another creepy sign. There's another one. It goes, what are we creating? And there's a cat with a tinfoil hat because, conspiracy theorists. On this one, I couldn't get zoomed in, but then they give you options of like, this is what's happening. On the next couple slides, we have another one that I can...
More space for interesting artwork? Yeah.
Oh, can you read it? Good.
A better airport experience or zombie cat layers?
So they kind of poke fun at things, and I think they try to make jokes of it, of all the things that they're hearing, but I'm like, if we go to the next one, it says under construction or underground tunnels, because everyone talks about the underground tunnels at the Denver airport.
I thought it was like an actual basement.
Oh, there are things down there, and we'll talk about it.
Is there any photographic evidence of this?
So there are tunnel systems because you can take a tram below ground, so you can see stuff. And the thing that's really weird is when you go on a tram at an airport, if you have never been there, a tram takes the same thing over and over and over.
Yeah.
But this tram will go by, and like when you look at the walls in the tram that are below ground, they have like decorative lightings, like artwork kind of. But you will see all these other things that divert the tram different ways. All these, and mind you, not just like one path, like 10 plus different paths that they never go down ever. So where do these tunnel systems go?
Yeah.
There are numerous, and they go in all different directions, left, right, everywhere. But you never go because the tram goes back and forth,
Correct. It's a straight shot usually.
Terminal to terminal. And now, mind you, a lot of people
some of them might curve, but like you said, it's going to be there's 3-4 terminals, one of 4 paths.
Mm-hmm. And most times, it literally, once it gets to the end, it just reverses and goes the other way.
Yep.
A lot of people are like, oh, like this could be like, it goes down this path for maintenance. Well, why would you need 10 plus different paths to go for maintenance?
Well, did you look up #den files that's on all of
We're
these?
going to talk about that at the very end of these ones.
Okay.
So if you go to the next one, then we have another one that goes, what's happening behind this wall?
And there's that statue, or at least it looks like that statue.
It is that statue. It goes A, gargoyle breeding grounds. B, a top secret Freemason meeting. C, and improving airport experiences. So The other thing I want to throw out here is Freemason meeting. This tied a lot to that time capsule. And there's like subliminal messaging throughout the airport that apparently, as they were building the airport, they intentionally put things in there for people to see that could possibly hint at like what's below ground and that you have to crack the code to figure it out. So,
Kind of like a national treasure type thing.
yeah.
I mean, because
And
they're called the Freemasons.
so A and B are just like the creepy options there. And I'm like, really? Gargoyle breeding grounds? Like, you guys are joking about this, but it's really creepy. We have two more we're going to look at here, and then we're going to talk kind of about these things. So the next one, we have our lovely Blucifer. Are we creating the new or the world's greatest airport or preparing for the end of the world? Literally,
Is that horse gonna come to life and beam us with his eyes?
the horse possibly represents the four horsemen of the apocalypse. So are we preparing for the end of the world, the apocalypse when it comes? Like they're just playing on this.
At least it'll happen over in Denver. I'll be safe over here.
Or we think. And then we have one last one we're going to look at. And it goes, what are we doing? And then it has another lizard person. But one thing I want to point out is at the bottom here.
Well, do you see the recommendations?
I didn't. Do you go ahead and read them? It's blurry on my end.
A, doing amazing something restaurants and bars.
Oh,
AC, building an Illuminati headquarters. Or remodeling the lizard something lair.
Yeah, lizard people's lair. It's just like the options they give you. And I'm like, again, it just seems like they're putting too much effort in to play into the jokes now.
Yeah.
And mind you, these, I picked out like the top 7. You can go on, all of these different signs relate to Illuminati, relate to Satan, relate to apocalypse, like bad things. One thing I want to point out is on almost every single one of these, you saw the hashtag den files.
Yeah.
Then at the very bottom of most of these, it goes, find out the truth at denfiles.com. Now, I did not have success with this, but I saw multiple people's TikToks that it must just happen on certain IP addresses that if you're lucky to get through, and I saw this on probably 10 different people, so it's not just one person possibly making it up, but when they went on, it literally talked about the New World Order and how eventually it would take over. And then this one girl, she like typed in this thing, it took her to it, and it had a section on New World, it had a section on Illuminati, it had a section on lizard people with the Illuminati, and then like 3 days later when she went back to prove it, and mind you, she had screen recorded it, so she had it. Days later when she went back to show a friend, it just took her to the Denver International Airport website. But then other people have done this, and it really kind of...
Well, it's like you wonder if you log into it while you are in the airport, if you get it.
Yeah. I don't know.
And then if you're outside the airport, you don't get it.
Yeah, so and mind you, I saw it on numerous people. So it's not just one person maybe made up a fake website.
Yeah.
Numerous people have gotten to it, but then when they talk about it, they can never get back to it.
Okay.
So maybe it is if you're in the airport or in the vicinity, I don't know. But there is a website, and I'm going to give you guys the website. So if you're at home and you want to try it out, maybe you'll get through and you can let us know. It's denfiles, denfiles.com. It's just... eerie.
Yeah,
and mind you,
creepy.
As I did this research, I went on and I tried to get to the site like 5-6 different times, and I just got the Denver International Airport.
Okay.
And mind you, their website's confusing as hell because there are so many places you can go that maybe if you click the right one, it'll brings you to that.
Loop you to that.
But it's an uneasy feeling. So that's the advertisement section.
Well, and every single time you see that hashtag Den Files, there's a lizard next to it.
Hinting maybe towards the Illuminati. And then, like I said, they also in the one, they didn't even hide it. They put the Illuminati eye in it. Like, you didn't even attempt to hide it. You put it in there.
Yeah.
So the next piece I want to talk about is the never-ending construction that takes place at the Denver International Airport.
I feel like that's a lot of airports, though.
I feel like it is common, but in this airport with everything else going on, I feel like it makes it more sketchy. So, like, yes, like, when we went to Chicago and we flew out to Mexico, there was construction going there. I know our Appleton one is always, because they're always expanding. So, like, I think it is very common that there's construction at airports, but I just feel with every other conspiracy surrounding this airport, to have the extensive construction they have just seems a little off.
Yeah.
They're always under construction. Something that is even more intriguing to me is that every 4 to 6 months, they switch contractors and construction crews, so no company will ever learn the full layout of the airport.
Oh.
Because they don't want anyone having the entire footprint of this airport.
Okay.
This dates back to when they started building the airport. I want to say back then it was every 2 to 3 months, they fired the crew, they hired on a new crew because they didn't want the initial construction team building the airport to know the entire footprint when it was being built. Even now with construction and remodeling
No wonder it took 2 extra years.
Yeah. And now, even with remodeling and updating, they are forever switching out contractors and construction crews because they don't want people to be able to map the whole airport and know where everything is. The next part of the construction I want to look at is the underground network that this airport has. The airport claims that they need an underground network for baggage. That is their only reason they have this, they claim. However, literally, if you are listening, go on TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, anywhere, and just type in the underground baggage thing at Denver Airport. When you go on there, people will literally be videotaping going, are you kidding me? My baggage is all upstairs. They have mounds and mounds of baggage on the main level for everyone to see. So they're not moving this baggage around because they literally are like, oh, we have it so we can transport it below ground and just make it cleaner and nicer for everyone.
Yeah.
All baggage is transported on the main level. So it's a lie.
Yeah.
So like I said, instead it takes up space on the main level where everyone can see. It is reported, and this has been reported by construction crews, contractors, and some people that have been lucky to get down there or people that have worked there, that there are at least 6 underground levels in the Denver airport, including 5 different buildings that they have buried below the surface. So the 5 buildings are separate from the 6 underground levels. So essentially, they have 6 basements under the airport that no one can get to.
Okay.
In addition to that, on the airport property, there are 5 buildings completely underground that you get to through tunnel systems. What's going on down there? I guess we don't really know.
Plus, I don't know if I'd want to get down that low.
The other part that makes me feel uneasy is that when you get anywhere near the entrance to go down below the airport, it's heavily guarded by officers with AKs. So you can't get past these people. They go, there's no tunnel. Like people, I want to see the tunnels. Let me go down. They're like, nope, there's no tunnels down there. You can't go. It's just airport stuff down there. Nothing big. But they're huge men with very large guns. Like, what is the need for it to be heavily guarded?
I don't recall seeing that when we were there.
You have to
Mind you,
go.
it was also like middle of the night.
Yeah. But you have to go to like the very lowest level that humans are allowed to go to. And apparently there are certain access points, and if you get to that point, you get through certain doors before you can get to like the doors that take you down below.
Yeah.
There are armed guards.
Okay.
The next part of construction I want to talk about is that the runway, when they built this airport, the runway is set up in the shape of a swastika.
I see that.
Are you looking at it?
Yeah.
So they have it around the building in a perfect swastika. And I'll post this on Instagram for you all to look at.
I mean, some of the sides are a little longer than they normally would be, but yeah, it's the general shape.
Again, but New World Order, it would make sense. And there's very demonic things going on and Nazi affiliation. And is this a swastika? Was this supposed to be a hidden message, but eventually we kind of found out and played it out? I don't know. Just seems a little too convenient to have it in that shape. Something else to note here is that all airports, any airport in the US, in the world, I would assume in the world, has fencing around for safety reasons. And at the top of that fencing, you're going to see barbed wire because you want to deter people from trying to come in. When you look at fence, and I don't have a picture of this, I should have added it because there is pictures. Normally, when you walk up to an airport, the fencing is like the barbed wire part is tipped out. So if you crawl up, you're going to hit your head on it.
Okay.
So it's facing out. But at the Denver airport, it's facing in, as if keeping something inside so it cannot get out of the airport. No other airport has this. The only other place you see barbed wire facing in is at
like
prisons.
A prison.
To deter people from getting out. Why is it facing inward at Denver International Airport?
Maybe the builders were dumb.
They could have been dumb, or are they trying to keep something inside?
Why would they keep it in? Are they keeping people in?
That's what we're trying to figure out. Because there's a lot of conspiracy theories that there are things in that basement that they have locked up, but in worst case scenario, if it were to get out, that's a line of defense. So maybe not. Maybe we're just stretching and reaching here and we don't really know.
Yeah.
But people kind of allude to that going, why is it facing inward? Any other airport, it's always facing out to like keep me and you from trying to climb the fence and jump the thing, go in. That's what I have for background. Now we're going to jump into some theories here. I have 4 typed up. We already kind of talked about that 5th one, which we can touch on at the very end. But the first theory I have, and this is the one that I don't necessarily believe in the most. The other ones I could definitely see. But the first theory is that the devil is inside the Denver International Airport, that he's contained in the basement.
I don't think that.
I have a hard time with that.
I think there might be devil worshippers that go to the Denver airport,
yes.
But do I think the devil himself is there? No, I don't.
That's what I have a hard time with, is they say that, and I'm going to read it as how people said, is that the devil lives in the Denver International Airport, There are many things that point to satanic beings in the airport. I mean, we saw some of the pictures and the things that we talked about. Many believe that the nickname for Blue Mustang, Blucifer, hints towards Lucifer, as in the devil. Many feel that this could be another reason why the barbed wire fence is tilted in to prevent the devil from getting out. But I'm like, it's the devil. He could fucking do whatever he wants.
The likelihood of the devil being there is like 0.
But I also,
There
and
might be like a shit ton of like devil worshippers, and they might
yes,
like do satanic rituals to communicate with the devil.
yes,
So you might have
a
let's
satanic
say
presence.
let's say we can communicate with the devil. They might be able to have communication with them, but is he physically there? No.
And that's my thing. And I guess I don't know. I don't know how I picture the devil. I mean, there's the TV show Lucifer, and like the devil is a human. Like he takes shape of a human. I guess I don't picture the devil as like a human
I
shape.
picture him as like a fireball.
Yeah, kinda. So I guess I have a really hard time believing this theory. People go, oh, when you look at the barbed wire fence and some of the artwork that looks satanic.
But then again, all of those pieces of art could be ways that they are praising Satan.
Maybe. And that's kind of what I alluded it to. And then people were like, well, it has multiple levels down below and like he has like a home. And I'm like, theory number one is very hard for me to buy, but it is a theory. Not maybe one I jump on board with the most. Some of the other ones I can maybe allude to a little bit more. Theory number two that I have is that it is home to the New World Order. Like I said earlier, for those of you that might not know, the New World Order has ties to Nazi affiliation.
With that time capsule, I could see that.
That's my thing. And when you look at, then the runways are in a swastika. And
yeah, I mean, there's definitely subliminal messaging about that. Do I think for sure that's it? I don't know.
and then a lot of people think in those paintings that big, like army
gas
guy,
mask looking guy.
they think that could be a Nazi that like in old
I
uniform.
could see that.
Because when you go back and you look at Nazi officers, I don't know if you call them officers, Nazis.
Yeah.
They wore like trench coat like things, and they carried big guns like that, and I don't think they carried swords, but
Yeah.
there's a lot that could allude to, is this the headquarters for New World Order? And that's why on the time capsule it says New World Airport.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know. So theory number two is that it's home to the New World Airport, New World Order. No, theory number three, the Denver International Airport is a doomsday bunker location for the world's most elite.
I could see that.
100%, if there's a theory I'm jumping on, it's this one.
I could totally see this. I still think it's a huge part of the Illuminati.
Oh, 100%.
Is that on there?
It is. That's my next theory.
Okay.
But for theory three, there are multiple levels underground, and there are multiple buildings underground.
So, I mean, there's a significant amount of space. Plus, the Denver airport covers a fuck ton of space.
I mean, double the size of Manhattan.
It would make sense why it took them so long and so much money.
Because they are building bunkers, and mind
billions of dollars.
And they're saying that, like, okay, they have little tiny bunkers per family of just the world's most elite, richest people, politicians, anyone that can afford to get in.
Because my thing's like, you look at like what it took to build
literally anything else.
Like the building that took place where the World Trade Centers were, that really, really nice building.
Mm-hmm.
You look at how much it cost for them to build that.
The New World Trade Center.
Probably like a couple $1 million.
I would, millions, but I don't think they reach billions with that. I'll Google it.
Correct. And like you look at, obviously it's an airport, and like airports are going to cost a little bit more, but $4.5 billion is
we talked without knowing. $3.9 billion to build that.
Really?
Yeah. Holy shit.
Okay, never mind.
Didn't know that. We'll
That's
scratch
a lot
that.
of freaking money.
I wouldn't have assumed, but even then, like, it cost so much money. And like you said, it took so much extra time.
Plus that building's also really, really tall.
Huge. Really fucking tall. And the materials it's built out of. That's what really added to that cost.
They chose to build up. Denver chose to build down.
Denver built down and out. When you look at the physical footprint of this airport, because when you look at it on a map, the airport
like you said, it takes up Manhattan.
Double Manhattan. It's Manhattan times 2 and then some. When you look at the physical footprint, yes, you have the airport. But then when you look at all the land that they own beyond the runways, it's like...
They do own a lot.
Many speculate that there are bunkers in preparation for the end of the world, and many think that those pictures in the airport is showing us how the world is going to end. That there might be Nazi takeover, there's forest fires going on, there's sacrifices taking place. They think that a lot of that artwork that's hung up is the world's elite going, this is how we're going to kill you all. and we are
Okay.
going to and we're going to hide here until it's all done.
Yeah.
And then we will reemerge once the world has ended with everyone
And
else.
they'll bust open that time capsule and have the new world order.
A lot of these tie together, but many assume that these are doomsday bunkers and that the highest of powers in the world have everything already planned. And that this is where they're going to go as a hub. The other part that I found very weird, and I want to say when I was doing the research, I heard it on the Joe Rogan podcast. He had a guest that was talking about the Denver airport, and he was talking about all the high society members in the world, politicians, royalty, really rich and wealthy people. They all own property surrounding Denver airport.
Really?
So they have homes that they can come like, oh, I'm going to vacation here. Don't get me wrong, Denver's a pretty place. But why do all these high, popular, powerful people
Live so close.
have homes so close that they could be to Denver airport within 30 minutes at max? Some people living literally right off airport property. Some of them maybe a little further into Denver, but all these high up
You wonder if the
people.
underground bunkers reach their house.
That's the other part I'm wondering about because there wasn't a lot of information on that. It
But
sounds
my
like
thing is, if you sold your house, how would
Yeah.
you hide that?
that's the thing, and the thing is they probably never will be able to sell it. It's gonna have to stay in the family.
Yeah.
That's just you're not gonna be able to. I don't know how you could unless you were like close off the tunnel, make it look normal.
Yeah.
I don't know. But that they're saying high society bunkers for when they end the world. And it really kind of alludes to I've said allude a lot tonight. It really kind of leads us to believe that maybe they know how the world's gonna end, or maybe they're gonna be the ones to end it for everyone else.
Yeah, but those Illuminati reptilian people are friggin' psychos, so
And that leads me
the
into theory
likelihood
number
of them
4.
knowing what's actually it's probably just them like I talked to Satan and he told me this.
And mind you, I want to do the Illuminati so bad, but like I said, it's gonna be a multi-part episode
Yeah,
with both of us.
it would have to be a multi-parter because there's just so much to unpack.
Maybe that's something we work on this summer. But that leads me to theory number 4. The Denver International Airport is the headquarters for the Illuminati, aka the lizard people.
I ship this.
So this theory in itself has many of us to assume that the airport, the whole underground system, is maybe where they're doing satanic worshipping, maybe where they're having these cult-like meetings, where they're initiating new people into this group. The hard part with the Illuminati is there are so many different theories about the Illuminati in itself.
Yeah.
Like, what does this
There's a
group
lot of
do?
like offshoots to it.
That's the hard part is like there's
oh, are they ruling the next world? Are they doing
Yes.
this? Are they reptilian people?
Are they from our world?
infiltrating this? Are they
Yeah.
molding people's decisions about this? Yeah, there's just
There's
so much.
so much in it, and many people think that this is the headquarters where they meet, they come together, they make decisions on things that they're going to be doing.
Because do they think the Kardashians are Illuminati?
Yes,
They do.
I want to say Kardashians fall in there. I know Beyonce is like the biggest face for Illuminati. Beyonce and Jay-Z.
Katy Perry's a face for like reptilian people. Would that be?
I want to say it's all one thing. A lot of people
Okay.
either refer to it as Illuminati or reptilian people.
But if you're a part of reptilian people, you're technically a part of Illuminati.
From my
Is kind of what
understanding,
they're saying?
yes. And a lot of people, like I know one of the theories within that is like the reptilian people are not from this planet. Or once you get into the Illuminati, you become a reptilian person. I don't know. It's a lot of research that I'm going to have to do on my own. But they assume this to be the headquarters where maybe like they do initiation that like if you want to get in, I mean, from the sounds of it, it sounds like there's human sacrifice. Like if you want to get in, you have to
Well,
kill
based
someone.
on those paintings, I would agree.
Yeah, and so a lot of the artwork, a lot of the advertisements with the Illuminati eye.
Do they just like pull somebody from Denver International Airport
I
and
don't
sacrifice
know.
them?
That's why people were like, you don't want to stay the night there.
I've never heard of anybody like death. though.
I haven't either, but then again, it
And I'm
probably
like-
just get covered up.
Wouldn't you? There would be families looking.
You would hope, unless they just go after your family and you're gone. I don't know.
I highly doubt that.
It's just very weird.
Unless they've done research on the people coming through there and know that like this person doesn't have any family.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a really eerie feeling, but like I said, this summer we're gonna do Illuminati because there's so much to it.
Yeah, be
But-
a multi-parter.
They think that the 6 levels below and the buildings below.
Yeah, that's weird. I knew that they always speculated that there was a basement. I guess I didn't
Yeah.
know that to the depth at which there was a basement.
And I could
or
really
that there's speculation that there's a basement.
And I could buy into the fact that, okay, if this is headquarters, there's a lot of shit going on there. It sounds like it's a very busy organization of whatever the hell's going on in
Well,
the
and
world
it sounds
with
like
them.
there's a lot of people that are a part of it.
And mind you, to my understanding, us normal people could never get in. Not that I want to. I'm
No,
not
I think it's only like high level people that have rank in society.
high society, like politicians, famous people with wealth. I want to be very clear about that. The one thing I have learned is you might be famous, but if you don't have fucking money, you're not getting in. Because
Okay.
it sounds a lot like Scientology.
Where you gotta like pay your way.
If you don't have money, like this is like a club you can't get into. I don't know that for sure. When I do more research, I'll be able to kind of confirm that. But from what I know as of now, if you don't have money, they don't want you.
Okay.
If you don't have political power, they don't want you.
Yeah.
You could probably be a poor person and be in politics, and if you had power, they don't care, they'll take you.
Okay.
But if you're not political and have power, you need to have money on the other end. And it really sounds like the Illuminati, once you can get in, they're willing that you will have all the fame and fortune you could ever ask for.
Okay.
It's like
Kind of like they take you under your wing. And
yes. You want to be famous? We'll make you famous, but there's a price.
because we know all the right people to get you there.
And that kind of ties into the whole satanic
Do
part
they
of
think
like
Elon Musk is a part of this?
I don't know. Let's Google. I'm just gonna Google
Because I feel like he is a very
famous people in the
or Jeff Bezos. I mean, 'cause they're some of the most wealthy people on Earth.
So alleged 10 celebrities we are convinced are members of the Illuminati. Oh, it's taking me like some dark web. Okay.
Great.
So
now the Illuminati knows we're on to them.
the number one face that pops up, Jay-Z.
Beyonce?
Jay-Z's number one. Beyonce number two. Do they run it? Are they the head lizard people?
Does that mean Blue's in on it too?
Oh,
Oh.
God.
Blue Ivy? Blue?
Mustang. Blucifer. Kanye West. I could see it.
I could totally see that.
And mind you, he would have he'd have killed Kim
He's
for anything.
fucking psycho.
I don't like this one. The next person they have on this list is Britney Spears.
Oh, I could totally see it.
Would that explain why she's going
psycho.
crazy?
She's psycho.
Like, but the thing is, did she get in and now she's like going crazy because she can't get out?
oh, I'm sure.
She's on this list. Madonna, that makes sense. She's fucking weird as hell. Rihanna.
Oh, I knew that one.
Really?
There's so much speculation that she is a reptilian person.
Oh my God.
Same thing with Katy Perry. I guarantee she'll be on this.
Lady Gaga.
Totally could see that.
Michael Jackson.
I could see it.
I could have seen that.
I feel like Illuminati, though, was like, that was after his time.
Bill Clinton.
Okay.
High politician.
ranking.
Bill Gates.
I could see it. Lots of money.
Again, all these powerful. Well, let me go back and get some more here. That's just one list. And mind you, they do like this symbol, and like when we do the Illuminati podcast, they like do a symbol with their hands. And I don't remember what late night host was talking about it, but Jim Carrey went on there and he was like,
oh,
"You
it's
guys,
this.
Yes, you do
Or
something,
something like
yeah, with
that.
your hands." They're like, "I am telling you, you need to be scared. The Illuminati is real." And mind, I think it was Jimmy Kimmel.
And I think he
Jimmy Kimmel was
tipping
like,
people off.
"Stop talking," because mind you, Jimmy Kimmel tried to deter him from it. Like, "Stop talking. We're fine. Like, you're being funny."
And tried to like stir him away, and then he just
Yes.
kept going.
Yeah, and he just wouldn't stop. And I think that
It's
was
the guy that played
the Grinch.
Was it the Grinch?
Yeah, Jim Carrey. He did the Grinch.
Yeah,
he did
dog.
Yes Man.
He's weird.
He's weird, but I also think that he has the safety and the best interest of the public of like, you need to know stuff is coming. I mean, he's like for the most part stopped acting. He's really kind of keeping to himself, but I wonder when he talked out if there was consequence.
He's odd, bro.
Yeah. This next list I have, Beyonce, Jay-Z's on here, Madonna's on here, Donald Trump, they assume, Kim Kardashian's on
I was gonna
here.
say, I thought the Kardashians were definitely on there.
Kanye West, Lindsay Lohan, LeBron James, Rihanna's on here again, Michael Jackson's on here again. A lot of like famous people, but then again, I could see there's political power.
Well, now we have sports people.
There's sports, there's singers, there's actors, there's political people.
Yeah.
Kim Kardashian,
Any like
automatically.
overseas royalty,
That's what I'm trying to find.
or is it primarily like a U.S.?
monarchy and Illuminati? So it says there is a Thai, I can't pronounce the name. There's a Thai leader. Illuminati. Ooh, maybe if I just go to this one and they're just going to give me a whole condensed list. Holy shit, this dates back to the 1700s. 1780.
Illuminati.
Yeah, political
think back
power.
to when they made money. Like, they obviously printed that on the dollar bill.
I know, it's on there. And my thing is like, did they do it before they printed money, or did they just after the money was made, they're like, ooh, we can use that and say like was it before or after this group was created? The British monarchy.
They
have on there?
I feel like they would have definitely been in there.
They think Queen Elizabeth at some point, the royal family just in general. So I mean, political power throughout the world, famous people of singing and acting. Then you have just the Kardashians that are famous for nothing. And then, I mean, Bill Gates, just a man with a shit ton of money.
Yeah. It
So,
surprised me that Elon Musk or Jeff Bezos was not on that list.
and maybe if I just do their names,
Because
like,
is Bezos the one that owns Amazon?
yes,
Yeah.
Jeff Bezos.
So Illuminati and Freemasons must go together.
They do. And I didn't get the connection too much, but I also didn't want to dive heavily into
But
that.
Illuminati, I feel like, is a bunch of people that are trying to like create this higher order new world, and they call those people Freemasons.
And maybe that's what it is. And it's, yes, Jeff Bezos is rumored to be in it. I'll try Elon Musk.
Elon Musk is just psycho enough that I feel like he'll definitely be in it.
He's on this list. The Illuminati Exposed, Jeremy Renner. Jeremy Renner, no.
Who's that?
He's the guy in the Marvel universe. He's Hawkeye.
Oh,
I know. I like him. It's Jeremy Renner, Elon Musk, Britney Spears, Kanye West, Donald Trump, Perez Hilton, and more.
I can see Paris Hilton.
Yeah, he's fucking crazy.
Paris Hilton is a
No,
female.
Perez Hilton. He's a reporter.
Oh.
Paris Hilton's probably on there too. So, like I said, political power, famous people. It really sounds like if you don't have power or money, you can't come in. But it almost leads me to believe, are they creating a new world with power and money? Like,
yeah, maybe.
Who knows? So that's theory number 4 is the Illuminati. And this summer, hopefully, we'll have another one that comes out with that in it. But yeah, and then what was that 5th theory I was talking about? Oh, that it's actually Area 52. So theory 5 would be that the Denver airport is Area 52. And
I don't know if I believe that one.
my only thing is, it could explain why we have armed guards, but I'm also like, would you really risk hiding our government secrets where tons of people visit every day?
Well, plus there's like workers that are in the Denver airport that are probably working down in those lower levels or have seen the lower levels to possibly run across that stuff. You don't want just a regular civilian seeing these things.
You don't want to risk it. So I have a hard time believing that theory, but I mean, at this point, I don't know what to believe. That's the hard part.
Yeah.
I could see theory 4, the Illuminati. I could see it being bunkers for the elite.
I could definitely see both of those.
I mean,
and the first one, I don't think they're physically housing Satan there, but I could definitely see them
Satan worshipping,
communicating, worshiping the devil.
Yeah, I could see like bad things happening there. Satan himself, I don't think he's there.
No.
I don't think he'd want to be contained there. That's not the place I want to call home the rest of my existence.
Absolutely not.
So, yeah, those are my main theories. My recap that I have here, because you always sound so rehearsed and professional when you do it. I'm now missing a theory, so just listen to what I got, and we'll just pretend that I have that 5th theory I forgot about.
Okay.
So, what do you believe? Is the Denver International Airport home to the one and only devil himself? Is this home to the New World Order? Are they preparing for the end of the world as we know it with doomsday bunkers only reserved for the world's most elite? Or is the Denver airport the headquarters of the Illuminati? And now, with the theory I forgot, is it Area 52, the government hiding secrets from us down below? Who knows?
I think it's bunkers or Illuminati are my 2 guesses.
And I almost think that they tie well hand in hand. Like, the Illuminati are the world's most elite.
The Illuminati are also Satan worshippers.
Yeah. So it ties well to
like believers of Nazi teaching type things.
I feel
is what I've seen when I've looked up Illuminati stuff in the past.
So I almost feel like
they all kind of go hand in hand.
All of the theories, like the only one I don't believe is the devil is there.
I also don't believe it's Area 52.
Yeah, government. I don't know if government secrets are there.
I mean, that's a lot of things our government could have.
And my thing is like,
stakes.
I think our government has some pretty scary stuff
to house it there.
And I don't think you want to house it where there are hundreds of thousands of people coming daily. I mean, in and out and moving about, and
especially when we have certain like designated heavily armed areas that we could house it safely.
I'd rather you hide it in the middle of a fucking desert underground. Like, I don't know. So
I feel like it'd be a little safer there.
I think that it's kind of a mixture of, we have satanic worshippers here. There are bunkers for the elite. I think maybe Illuminati ties in here, but I also think
it just seems weird.
I think Illuminati goes hand in hand with New World Order. I think if you're in the Illuminati, you're automatically
a part of that.
Yeah.
You're a Freemason.
It's just, there's a lot to it. And I was really excited to jump in with Denver Airport because I think it'll lead nicely into a podcast on the Illuminati itself. Big yawn.
I struggled to finish it.
Any last thoughts before we wrap it up here?
No, I feel like we really created a podcast that'll bridge us right into the Illuminati. Mind you, it won't be for a couple episodes, but I feel like that's something we'll definitely have to jump into now that we've kind of got the baseline of what we think it might have started from.
Yeah, so when we do that podcast, we'll have to come back and be like,
kind of
listen to this
Go
one
back
before.
and listen to episode whatever.
I think this will be episode 19. We're
God.
almost at 20 here.
That's wild.
I know. I never thought we'd make it this far, if I'm being honest.
Oh, I did.
I mean, I thought recording wise, but I mean, and I don't know if I mentioned on the last podcast, we're over 100 followers. As of
Whoop,
today,
whoop.
we're at 113 on Apple Podcast.
Tell your friends about us, please.
I think Spotify, we reached 13.
Get it.
But I never thought we would get more than family followers. I thought it'd be me, you, Mom, and Aunt Nancy.
Yeah.
The strong four to the end, and here we are over 100. And I'm not gonna lie, I kind of teared up when I logged on that day and we had 100 followers. I'm like, holy shit, we have dedicated listeners. So we appreciate all of you that are listening and following and have comments. And I love when we have family friends reach out, go like, what's next week's episode? And I'm like,
It's a
"Aw,
secret.
you are listening." My one teacher, when you said Sam came and talked to him, like, Sam's listening, I didn't even know. So it's pretty cool just to know that we have a following, because I didn't know if we'd ever actually get a following.
Yeah.
So please remember to subscribe to our podcast and leave a review. Like us on Facebook and Instagram at Conspiracy Podcast 1. And remember to tune in for next week's episode, which will be posted on Wednesday.
Yay!
Thanks, guys. See you later.